Good evening, guys. How are you? Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good evening. How are you? Hello. I hope you all having a nice weekend. So, who's going to be joining us first today? Hello. Hello, Fizz. How are you, Fizz? Good evening. I can only see Fisayo. Has anyone joined us yet? Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Guys, as you're coming in, please share. And don't forget to invite your friends as well, especially on a weekend. So today being Saturday, lots of people will be at home at their leisure time. Please invite them so that they can also join us. We love the more people, the merrier. So we love for you to invite many people. And don't forget, guys, everything that you see on Dr. Sunday's channel is available on YouTube. It will be available on Sunday Adelaja Official. So we aim to upload everything on YouTube within 48 hours. So if you don't see it within 48 hours, bear with us. We will definitely put it on YouTube. So go to YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. Just type in your search browser, Sunday Adelaja Official YouTube, and then without the YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, and then you will see pictures of Dr. Sunday with him wearing a blue suit with a green shirt. So click on that picture, you go to his homepage channel, and you will see an array of playlists of different titles that Dr. Sunday has taught about or is teaching currently. You can watch the current teaching, previous teaching. Over 3,000 videos are available for you to watch, and audios as well. Please check it out, Sunday Adelaja Official. So guys, I'm really excited today. I'm so fired up to discuss these attributes, but it's not just because of the attributes that I'm fired up. I am fired up because I know what is cooking, and I just can't wait for you guys also to hear and see it too. So I'm really excited. I hope you will be excited when you hear it and you see it as well. Dr. Sunday really does know what to do. I'm so impressed. I'm learning so much here, and I hope you guys also have the opportunity to learn from where you are, and you're always welcome to come over here in Ukraine. Furthermore, there is a HMT that is coming in November, so we're telling you now 2 months in advance. So no excuse for not being able to make it. From the 6th of November to the 10th of November, there's going to be an HMT here in Ukraine. So if you're interested and you know what HMT is like and all the testimonies from HMT, please start making your plans now and your arrangements to come to Ukraine for HMT. If you don't know what HMT is, it's History Makers Training. So nobody attends HMT that does not become a history maker.
Yep.
Full stop.
Yep.
So this year, the next one will be November 6th to November 10th. So make all the arrangements. If you want to know more about this HMT, you can go to sundayadelajablog.com/visit. That's sundayadelajablog.com/visit. We'd love to have you. And if you come, you would also be glad that you made that choice. I promise you that.
Yes, and one more thing is always important to know, and that one is if you come a few days later, actually you come a few days earlier and stay a little bit longer than the HMT, it will be even more unforgettable because you will be able to experience the whole array of this, heavenly place, as many people have testified. So make sure that you book a few days before and a few days after.
That's a very good point that Julie just made there, guys. And for most people, we're just going by what most people are saying. Every time people just book before and they book after, they find that they regret it. So what they usually do is that they'll book to come on the day or a day before, and then the HMT starts immediately on the day that we've given you or the date of the HMT itself. And it ends, and as soon as it ends, some people would already have booked their flight to go back. But staying with us a few days, they'll realize that, wow, they really need some more time to spend after the intensive course of HMT. They need time to get to know everybody more, and also to have time with Dr. Sunday, to speak to Dr. Sunday, to engage in other areas, to flesh out their ideas or what God has given them or how they have improved themselves. They need that time before they go back home to the hustle and bustle and the familiar territories that they know. So they start feeling, oh, I should have changed my flight. I should have done this. I should have booked my flight for later. So we're just giving you a heads up here that it's either you come a couple of days before the HMT starts, or you stay later than the days. Or you can do both. Come a few days before it starts and then stay a few days after it ends. So the example would be, it starts on the 6th. You can decide to come from the 4th, and it ends on the 10th. You can decide to stay until the 12th or the 14th if you wish. But in any case, don't miss the HMT. So November HMT is from the 6th to the 10th of November, and we look forward to having you there as well. So guys, I'm really grateful. Some of you have shared, but a lot of you haven't shared at all. So I would ask you to please do us the honors again, and please share. Thank you. And don't forget to invite people as well. People always love it when you invite them. I personally love it when you invite me to come and watch a show with you. I feel like, ooh, so-and-so is thinking about me. Well, I might watch this show then. And that's what I do all the time. So if you're like me, you will love it when you invite, or others will love it when you invite them. So please do the honors and invite them. So I was telling you that something is cooking, but because it's not live right now, I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't say too much about it.
Don't say
Oh
too
my
much.
God, Julie, look at Julie.
Yeah.
Julie say, don't say too much about it. Okay, I wouldn't say too much. Anyway, I'm grateful that you guys are with us, and we're discussing the attributes of Dr. Sunday that we all love and develop. So you said, how did you come about these attributes? I can tell you right now. Dr. Sunday was 50 a few months ago. So that was his golden jubilee. We had a 3-day event, 3-day celebration. But prior to that, we had a whole month long of events and celebration on social media. And we asked people to tell us the attributes of Dr. Sunday that they love. And they came up with all these 50 attributes. 50 because it's a golden jubilee, so we selected the number 50, and we chose 50 of the attributes that they sent. And one of these attributes, which is number 19 that we're treating today, is dynamic. So we've had many attributes that we've treated. We are on number 19 right now, and we're discussing the attribute dynamic. So this is not just an attribute of Dr. Sunday alone. It's an attribute that we all think that we can also develop, we can make use of, and we want to discuss the essence of these attributes and discuss some of the examples and the benefits of having these attributes. So that's what we do here when we discuss attributes, and I hope that you will be joining us. You can join us and put your comments on the comment section, or you can also call us on Julie Ngoya's Messenger. That's Julie Ngoya's Messenger. Actually, is that a good idea?
Yes.
With
I
your
have my phone.
Okay.
I have my laptop open.
Okay, Julie Ngoya's Messenger. You can still call us. I hope you'll be able to call us so that we can have this conversation live with you on Facebook. Again, I would like to thank you for joining us, and I hope we will have a very, very good discussion today. So we have this attribute dynamic. So let's go into the definition first. Julie, what would you like to say before I start?
Oh, you can go ahead. I think today you can start with the definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a definition here. This is just a basic definition from Google that I've just typed in the word dynamic, and this is what Google says. Of a process or system. It says characterized by constant change, activity, or progress. A dynamic economy, or in a person, positive in attitude and full of energy and new ideas. Bang! This is bang on Dr. Sunday.
Yeah.
But for me, discussing attributes, I've learned so much. This is like being in school again, because I know these words by saying them, but I don't know the essence of those words. Even though I can go in the dictionary and check what they mean, and I use them all the time, I use them loosely, but I never ever relate those attributes to what I myself can develop or what I can possess deliberately. So I have been very conscious of all these attributes that we've been discussing, and also how I could develop them in myself as an individual. And this platform and discussing these attributes is an opportunity not just for me, but for us all to develop these great attributes. So today's attributes, I've just read the definition, but I will read out the definition in a person again, and you tell me if you guys are right in giving this as one of the attributes of Dr. Sunday. So it says, and a person is positive in attitude and full of energy and new ideas. Who is that? Who can it be?
Who can that
be?
Good question.
So, who can that be? That's definitely Dr. Sunday. But hey, let's just discuss it. We already know that he's got that already. It's dynamic. We know that, we agree. You guys chose it as an attribute of Dr. Sunday that you love. So let's discuss the nitty-gritty now. How can we develop this attribute herself? Is this an attribute that is positive in our society now? Or is it an attribute that is seen as a negative thing? You know, because I was looking at full of energy. I know that sometimes if you live in some sort of community, especially in the West, I came from in English land, which is England. And I know that in England, if you're full of too much energy, it's like, oh, just calm down, you know, conservative. You know, they said, oh, you should be conservative. But Dr. Sunday is not just conservative, he is full of energy.
Yeah.
And we should all be full of energy. So how can we develop these attributes? What are the hindrances? I've been using that word a lot, that is preventing us from being a dynamic person.
Yeah, I mean, but it's justified because I think, especially when we consider both of us, for instance, we grew up in the West, and we know that being Africans, usually it's natural for us to be rather dynamic as opposed to, introvert or quiet. So dynamism is, I think, somehow inherited in our culture and in the African continent, or in most African countries at least. So for us, it's somehow a little bit comes more natural. But I understand that having grown up in Europe, I know that this alone is a hindrance for you to be dynamic, because the culture just predicts for you to be less dynamic and to rather be quiet and reserved. At least I can speak for myself, having come from Germany. So this can be something that can cultivate a hindrance for dynamism, because one of the definitions or meanings of dynamism or being dynamic is that there is a lot going on, and a person is dynamic who's considered energetic and active. So definitely Africans are dynamic in my understanding, but being active is also one of those attributes that kind of are merged in the definition. And I think this is something that all of us can do, but we are active in many different areas of life. I can't really say for myself that I am an active person in general, but I would be able to say I'm active in a specific area or in a field of interest. And I think this is where there's a difference between most people and Dr. Sunday, for instance, because
it's fully dynamic.
Exactly. He's somehow holistically dynamic. And that's commendable. For me, I don't know how to do that, but it will definitely be positive.
I think, Julie, you've hit some nails on the head there in terms of being African, number one. Not that this attribute is just for Africans. So if you're out there, you're not African, you're not of African descent, that's okay. We were talking about everyone, but we can only refer back to what we know and our backgrounds and what we know. Mm-hmm. We're quite dynamic anyway, as African. But growing up as well in Europe, as you said, actually it tames you a bit. You want to go with the crowd. It's more sophisticated, not to be. In fact, full of energy. To be more reserved, more curtailed, that, people will tell you, this is England, you have to be this way, you have to be, a certain way. And you see people around you, even people that you knew as well, that you think that they should be dynamic, even your parents, your siblings, your friends and family, they're all going with this flow that we're in this environment and we should be this way. So we are following followers, and not actually being ourselves. And I think Dr. Sunday actually helped make that very real for me. I think we went on a conference, one of these youth conferences here in Kyiv, and he was talking about how we dress, how we do our makeup, and why he wears colorful clothes or colorful suits to our skin color, and gave all this kind of description. I think he also did that also during anniversary. So if you look at any of the video in April, you would be able to see some of this this addressed in there, where he was talking, and I'm thinking, oh yes, I have actually, for the environment that I was in, and I was not able to be dynamic in the way that I would love to. Up to today, I will wear black. I mean, I have a dark skin, and I'll still wear black. And there's no reason why I'm doing that other than, it's more conservative. No, there is not showing anything. It's not giving you away in any way.
Not putting you on the spot.
Yes, you're on the fence kind of in what you're wearing. Nobody knows anything. And that's not necessarily me. I mean, this is kind of actually a contradiction to Mayowa. Do you understand? The personality, the person of Mayowa. So, but I still do it. If I was going to choose anything, if I was going to choose a clothes, or if I went shopping, I would gravitate towards the darker colors, the colors that's not really saying much, just because of the background or the environment, rather than background, the environment where I grew up in Europe, in England. So, and just not bring out my personality. So I actually think that this definition of dynamic is really important to us as well, to look within ourselves and see why we just use this as words that we just use loosely without actually applying it to ourselves. Positive in attitude, that's a good thing. We all want to be positive people. They tell us how great it is to be positive about everything, about life. And it says full of energy. What's wrong with being full of energy? Even though a lot of time people try to tame you and say, oh, you're too much. Oh, you're just too much. Oh, calm down. Those kind of subtle ways of kind of, taming you. Calm down, take it easy. Don't, and we bought into those ideas. And full of new ideas. I mean, this word dynamic is not just a word. It really covers so many things. It covers being positive, a positive attitude. The most important word, it's been said that the most important word in the dictionary or generally is attitude. So the word dynamic really should be really close to us. It should be a word that we really take seriously. And not just use when we're talking in certain contexts. It should be our day-to-day vocabulary, because it says we're positive in attitude, full of energy and new ideas. There's nothing wrong with this word. This is like a perfect word that we should use. But how many times do you use dynamic?
No, I don't use dynamic. But you know what? The funny thing is, it also reflects in the way that we act. Because if I look at Dr. Sunday when it comes to dynamism, he's very purposeful. He knows exactly when is the moment to be more energetic and when to, wear all these colorful clothes and just be all out there. While many people who can be dynamic don't necessarily control that dynamism with purpose. Oftentimes you can also be temperamental because of that. Because you have so much energy and you don't know how to channel it, and you're just always, you get angry or you're hot-tempered and all of that. And I know that.
But that's not dynamic though.
Yeah, but you can't. It's a form. To me, it's a form of dynamism because you still have a lot going on. You're still energetic. You're still active, but it may not necessarily be positive or bring forth positivity.
But the definition says positive. Maybe we should read your definition as well. Okay. But this says positive in attitude and full of energy and new ideas. Everything that it says about dynamic to me is a positive thing. There's no negative in it. So let's see what yours says.
If a person, place, or thing is energetic and active, then it's dynamic. When things are dynamic, there's a lot going on.
Okay, I think your definition put a little damp on it.
Probably, yeah.
So that's probably why you're looking at it from that point of view. But really, I don't really think that the word dynamic is, from where I'm reading this from, is very positive, it's like saying good. You can't say some things are good, bad, you know? You know, it's good. So it always has to be positive. But this one tried to water it down a little bit. I'm glad I read this definition first, because this definition is simple, it's straightforward, and it also described Dr. Sunday. So whoever gave us this definition, kudos to you, because this is hitting Dr. Sunday in one word: dynamic. And as we're discussing, this is an attribute also that we can develop ourselves. It's not an attribute that is only peculiar or particular to Dr. Sunday or any other person that you know that is dynamic. It's an attribute that at whatever stage you are in, whatever age that you're in, you can cultivate this to become you, to become who you are described as. And I've learned today one thing is that I don't use this word enough, and I don't actually practice the meaning of the word in my own life. Like, imbibe myself in the word dynamic. That even if somebody says, "Oh, Maya, why you're dynamic?" I just kind of like, okay, thank you, and then move on, with it. I don't even let it register in me that how am I dynamic? What are the things that I'm doing to be dynamic? How can I develop myself to be even more dynamic? I don't think that way, but I will start doing that, because with all these attributes that we've been discussing, is really now in the forefront of my memory, my thinking, and I'm going to use it a lot more. Guys, have you been hearing us? I wonder, because the volume was quite low and I didn't realize. I'm sorry if you haven't been hearing us. Please accept our apology. It's a lot better now. Thank you very much. So, guys, the word dynamic is a word that we should all imbibe in us, and not just make it a word, but make it an action in our lives. So it shouldn't be a word that somebody would use for us or use to describe us without us even knowing or even being aware that this is what we are. Like, I don't even know that I know I have energy. I'm probably not full of new ideas, but I have energies, and I think I have a positive attitude. Would you say?
Yes, I do. I've been working with Mario every day, so I can testify to that.
Oh, thank you, Julie. I think you have a positive attitude. We're not rubbing each other's shoulders right now. Okay, guys, is anyone going to join us in this discussion? Please do. You can call Julie in Goya. She's ready for you, so you can give her a call and we can discuss this with you. Or you can write your comment down and we would like to share whatever you write. Wow. Guys, there was almost a disaster there. So thank you for joining us. If you're with us, okay, let me read some of your comments if I can see. Okay, you're just saying hello. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Adamu. Okay, let me say hello to everyone because I haven't said hello to everyone. Hi, Oluwatoyin, good evening. Hi, Jane, how are you? Good evening. Adamu, thank you very much for your lovely comments. And hello. Raija, good evening. Thank you for your comments as well. Okiki, Ola, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. Rufaro, hello. Thank you for joining us. Guys, I hope you've all shared. Please share. We love the more people, the merrier. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for joining us. Sozi, Sozi, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Oriyomi, how are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thoughtful Writer, how are you? We haven't seen your comment yet, Thoughtful Writer. We're waiting for you to write a comment because we know that you always have interesting things to say. Emenike, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. And thank you for responding to the volume question. That was really nice of you. Thank you. And then we have Jane has written something. So let's read what Jane has said. Jane says, the essay is very energetic. Tell us that again. He is energetic. And he's 50 years old. Can you believe it? Like ancient 50. But he's so energetic. Then we have always changing his teaching approaches, and he is very positive regardless of what people say.
Spot on.
Yeah. And then we also have her saying, for example, his current teachings on the church are regarded as negative to those who do not understand his message. However, this has not discouraged him. Perfect, Jane. That was a very good one. Thank you very much. That you're totally right with that, Jane. I mean, I think that's just spot on. He's energetic and he's very positive. He has so much focus. He knows where he's going. He knows where it's coming from. He knows what's, even before it happens, he knows what's going to happen and is ready for it. So,
yeah, and he always changes things. That's what I like that you said that, Jane, because being energetic means you're also somehow creative. You always change stuff because you're always active. You always look for new ways to do things.
New ideas, dynamic.
Exactly. So that's definitely one attribute there.
Yes, and Jane, I'm so glad that you mentioned the new series that he's treating right now, because that series I know is exploded a bomb. It's like detonating a bomb. Although some people have already taken the bomb in their hand already, but he's just detonating it right to them right now, and a lot of people cannot take it. You know, there's a lot of backlash on it, but he's ready for them. He's ready for it. He's not even perturbed.
Yeah, and
nothing.
You know, that's actually a really good example for dynamism, because one would think that, oh, Dr. Sunday is super active and he always does this nice Facebook Live, and all of a sudden he launches this bomb, you know, where people will think, oh my God, is this the Dr. Sunday that I actually know? I mean, is he like that? I didn't know he was that dynamic. I didn't know he was that active and energetic and full of zeal and passion. And, you know, some people were even saying, oh, Dr. Sunday, don't get angry while he was teaching in his live broadcast. But
he's not even angry.
It's not even. It's the energy. It's a very good testament to the fact that he has so much energy that, you know, he's releasing. I mean, we get to see a little bit of it because we hear
a little bit.
Well, we see it a lot actually, but I was going to say we get to see a little bit in the evenings when he's on a broadcast. But you know, that's why people can tend to be like, "Oh my God, he's so all over the place, and he's just there, and he lashes all these truths out just one by one."
Yes.
But this is really a great testament to the dynamism that we can see in Dr. Sunday.
Yes, it's totally dynamic. And you know what? I think Dr. Sunday's dynamism has actually helped me, and maybe so many other people as well, because watching somebody live every day and the way he is, it kind of gives you strength. It gives you the authority as well, the audacity for you also to be courageous. To do the thing, to get out of the norm, and you know, not do what other people are expecting of you. You know, I think that this is really what makes you a creator yourself as a creation. You know, it also makes you a creator, because being full of new ideas, knowing new ways to handle things, accepting people for who they are and what they want to say, you know, not even getting offended, even if the people that used to be on his side are no longer on his side. He understands, he even accepts that as that's a possibility. And you know, for me, for somebody like me, it's like, how dare they? It's like, calm down. I'm thinking, oh my God, how can you be calm? And he's like, what are you worried about? Why are you know, anxious? Why are you this? It's okay. You know, that's their understanding. That's who they are. And I just calm down, like, oh my God. Can this really be real? Can somebody really be like this? But I am also learning. I know this is because he's very dynamic. You know, it's somebody that he knows where he's coming from, where he's going. He's got a positive attitude, even in a negative situation. He's full of energy and new ideas. And you know, from the new ideas that he has so many new ideas that he's only sharing. I know he said during one of the question time that he's only sharing 5% of what he wants to share. 5%, he said?
Yeah, 5%.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, how can this be 5% of what you want to share when there are masses of people that don't even know half of what you're telling us? That's why we're all following your teachings to hear you. And you're just sharing 5% of that. That's just unbelievable to me. But each day I look forward to what's new that is going to share, and it also encourages me also to develop what is inside of me. Don't just be sleeping inside of me and only watching him develop. It's also helping me to develop myself. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity to be able to do that. So guys, no one has called yet, but you're invited to call us. If you can't call, please leave your comments. We love to read from you. I think Jane has said something else, so let's have a look. Thank you very much, Jane. You're very, very engaging, and we really love that. So continue. Hey, every time I say continue, I have to say this in this accent. Continue. Okay, Jane says the attribute is definitely worthy to be emulated. Thank you very much, Jane. Yes, I think so too. I think we all do. Yeah. So absolutely. And then Jane says dynamic is also what makes us to stand out and to be different from others. Wow, that's interesting. I think so too, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Especially when you're, again, in a culture and environment where it's not common or even not welcomed. So that's a very good trait to acquire, to stand out and to pass across a message. Because how do you want to blend out? How do you want to be noticed by people?
Not blend in.
Exactly, not blend in. If you're not dynamic, if you're just quiet, have a low voice, you don't move, you just blend in with the crowd, with what you wear even.
Yes,
you know, because that's a statement too, exactly. So how do you want to do all that? Especially if you have an important message for people to listen to, and that will probably even deliver them and set them free and, you know, introduce them to freedom and to love and to God. So you have to have some dynamism. So that's why I think, especially we as Christians, this is an obligation for us to acquire this attribute so that our voice can be heard in the world.
Absolutely, Julie. I think that's definitely right. And you know, when you mention about Jane, when you mention about being somebody that stands out, dynamics makes you stand out. Being dynamic makes you stand out. I'm thinking a lot of us is trying to play the game where we blend in with a crowd, or we fit into a mold or a group or something. You know, even though we know that this attribute is good to stand out, but maybe I'm just talking from the West or talking from Europe point of view, being raised there, that we all really try to be in the crowd, to blend with the crowd. I don't know why we do it. I mean, now as an adult, I'm sensing myself conscious of that behavior. But I was also one of those people. And for parents out there, you know, I'm really so much passionate about children. I realized that it's not even something, I don't have any children yet, but I realized that with young people and children, I really want parents to help them, or if there's any responsible adult there, to really help them. Because I think they struggle with this, you know, where they just want to blend in with a crowd. But if this word is being used, regularly at home or in their life, and even with the parents showing them examples of being dynamic, I think the story will be different, you know, and also they'll grow up to be very great adults with great personality. You know, I think we should use it with them. I think actually attributes should be one of the programs that you invite your young people. You know, it doesn't matter even if they're in their 20s or even if they are maybe teenagers. Is one of the programs that you should invite them to join in or listen to, where they can have this discourse, we can have this discussion with us and comments as well, what they think about it. Living in England, I know that a lot of young people, when I see teenagers, sometimes they would even buy the same jackets, and they will wear the same jackets, or they wear the same jeans, or something might be trending and everyone is buying and wearing that. Yeah. And if you don't, you're like the odd one out. And every teenager will aim that, oh, mommy, they're buying this. And I see it now even with girls, you know, they would all do the same hairstyle, or they will use the same type of weave, or, you know, something like that. And it's because we're not using these words well with them, and also we're not training them. It's not just about using it, but also training them that it is good to be dynamic, it is good to be different, it is good to be positive and have a good attitude, it is good to stand out, and it's something that would help you to be your own person, to be who you are, rather than being in the crowd. So I would urge any parents out there, or if you have young people around you, you're a teacher or your brother, sister, uncle, please encourage these young people that you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. On your own, on your style, on your hair, on your designs, your haircut for the boys, on your own trainers. You don't have to wear what they're wearing or do the same haircut as they're doing. Just be yourself. And being yourself, being dynamic, is a welcome trait, is a good trait to have.
Yeah.
And I think that it would really be helpful to do so. So guys, I told you something earlier, and I think that the egg is cooking right now. It's almost cooked, so you will be seeing it soon. But I don't want you all to go away and not watch us at the same time. I want to talk a little bit about a video that Dr. Sunday has launched just now,
the next few
seconds, that Dr. Sunday is launching. You will see it, so calm down. We would all see it. Actually, that calm down is for me. That calm down is really for me. The video is out, and I just can't believe what he was saying in that video.
Yeah,
and
we should not reveal too much.
I want to reveal it. I'm sorry, Julie. Julie, leave me alone. I want to reveal it. Oh, right. You need to watch this video, right? Dr. Sunday is appealing to his friends. He's appealing to his friends. And the title of this video is, watch out for that video as soon as it comes out. The title is, what's the title? To my friends, please don't cry for me.
Yeah.
To my friends, who please don't cry for me. I mean, that title is just the tip of the iceberg. Just watch this video and you will be amazed. So I'm really excited about that video. I can't wait for the video to come out. He did the shooting this afternoon, and it's just giving me so much strength. If you watch this video when we started today, I was really excited. And, you know, just seeing hearing what he said, it's just giving me so much strength that how can a person just be like this? And I think this is one of the traits that we're discussing, where we're saying that this, Dr. Sunday's, whoever gave him this attribute that is dynamic, the person is spot on. And he just did something today, especially, to actually prove that as well. So I really don't want to say much because you haven't seen it, and I'm just talking from my own point of view. I think we'll definitely come back to the video where we can discuss it and discuss some of the things that he was saying in there. I just stood there shooting, and I was just like, really? Are you saying that? It was really unbelievable for me. So dynamic, a person with a positive attitude, full of energy and new ideas. And this one definitely was a new idea, especially from where I stand, or from my own experience. I've never seen anything like this before. So this is why I think that this is exciting. This is great. I just can't wait for you guys to see the video. I hope the video will be published today, in some time today. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Internet don't want you to see it, but but I hope you do see it. So let's go back to this topic of dynamics as an attribute of Dr. Sunday. Before I do that, can I please ask you one more time? I might ask you again, but I'm gonna ask you now to please share this and invite your friends, please. It's Saturday today. A lot of people are home, or maybe they're out in their leisure time. They'll be able to watch it. They're not at work right now, because we usually start at a time where maybe some people are leaving work in UK and in Nigeria, 5 p.m. But today, most people will not be working. Of course, some people will be working on Saturday, and you'll be at your leisure time right now, so you can invite your friends and family to watch with you. So please do so if you can. I really appreciate it. We both appreciate it. I'm sure Dr. Sunday also we would appreciate it. So please do so. And one more time also, let me tell you, everything that we do on Facebook Live is uploaded onto YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. That's Sunday Adelaja Official. So at your time, at your pace, you can go on YouTube and watch any videos, any title, any series that we've done in the past. you can watch it. It's there in reserve, in the right order for you to enjoy, for you to learn, for you to use as a resource to develop yourself. There's so much there. There's so much titles. I can't even go into it. Is it money issue that you want to address? Is it a relationship issue that you want to address? Is it a friendship issue? Is it marriage issues? Name it. Any type of issue is there for you to watch and learn from. I mean, there might be things there that you would love, and there's some that you might not love so much, but there would always be something for you on Sunday Adelaja Official. And of course, if you're somebody that likes to read, you can get a lot of Dr. Sunday's article, if not all of Dr. Sunday's article published to date. It would be available on Sunday Adelaja blog. That's sundayadelajablog.com. So go on there and check that out. Please do. You know, that would be a great opportunity for you to see, to read some of his articles. And especially if you're somebody that is used to reading rather than you watching a video all the time, I think that's a great opportunity. There's so much there. There's some articles that I love on Dr. Sunday's blog that you can find. Please go, especially with political matters and his own reasoning on them and things, current events. I think that's the place to go. He will have something to say and he would put it on the blog. So check the blog out, sundayadelajablog.com. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
guys, I would love to ask a question, which is, what do you think? How can we acquire the attribute of being dynamic? What do you think? And especially from a Christian perspective, do you think it is important for us to be dynamic? And how can we put that into practice as Christians? Because these are things we don't talk about. As Christians, we don't talk about these things. Whenever we go to church, we don't talk about the attributes we have to acquire. If there are any, most of the times it's about being obedient, doing stuff.
Faithful.
Exactly, being faithful, and all these
having faith.
Yeah. All these obligatory things
laws.
that we have to do, laws, exactly. So since we are now practicing all of this, practicing the attributes of, you know, a person living in the kingdom of God, how are we supposed to put that into practice? How should we look? How should it look like in the day-to-day life, having the attribute of dynamic?
That's a really good question, actually.
Yeah.
I think the first thing with being positive, having a positive attitude, you know, I think I said already that attitude is one of the greatest word that we really need to cultivate. Good attitude. Your attitude can make and break you. You know, if you don't have a good attitude, it will reflect on everything that you're doing. If you have a positive attitude, also it will reflect on everything that you're doing. But it would be on the opposite side. So Julie's question in terms of how do we develop these attributes? What are the things that we need? So we mentioned attitude and having a positive energy, full of energy and a positive attitude. And then also new ideas. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know how we can develop new ideas. But I have some understanding of that. You know, we can develop to have a good attitude.
Yeah.
And we can also develop to be full of energy, you know, just be positive all the time. But in terms of new ideas, how do we do that?
You know, it's funny because one time I asked Dr. Sunday this question, especially because we were reviewing a book. I think it was Discover Your Latent Energy. And he was talking about the fact that solitude is very important because ideas come from the unseen. Ideas come from the spiritual realm. So we have to be able to connect ourselves to the spiritual realm on a regular basis so that we can always be constantly filled with new ideas that, you know, we can get from the Spirit that God can give us and can enrich us with. But if we're just living by head knowledge and we're just, you know, walking around living by carnal ways, I don't think that we are going to have a lot of good ideas. And, you know, the funny thing is that some people may think, oh, because this is exclusive to Christians, but it's actually not. If you think about,
solitude is not exclusive to Christians.
Exactly. And if you look at all the very successful people, these are people who practice solitude on a regular basis. you know, and this is where they have time to really try to catch what is in the spirit, what lies in their spirit, because we all are spirit beings, and God has made available to us all the riches of this world. So we have to be able to connect with the spirit realm on a regular basis, so that we can always get these ideas and uncover all these riches that God has replenished this earth with. So I guess this is really, to me, this is the solution to idea gathering. Solitude, solitude, solitude. And you have a bigger bonus and a very much quicker access if you connect to God in your solitude.
Absolutely. I think solitude is really number one. There's been a lot of well, I didn't know anything about solitude before I actually met Dr. Sunday. Yeah. So I haven't practiced solitude much, but I know that that's something that is a deficiency in me, and it's something that I really need to cultivate. And it would really help me, because if I'm where I am now without it, I have seen the results of people that have been going to solitude and what they have achieved. So solitude is something really that I also want to develop in myself. So if you're like me out there and you haven't developed this and like you don't know, yes, like Judy is saying, like us, and you haven't actually practiced solitude, but definitely do that. But I also think that there must be another way also to do solitude is one way, it's one resource on how to come up with new ideas. What other ways can you come up with new ideas? What are the things that you can do to come up with new ideas? I think reading is really good. Absolutely. Reading in the area of your interest. Yeah. Everything possible that you can read, you can see about your area of passion or interest, just go for it. Read everything. You know, study it, develop yourself in that area, and then new ideas will start coming to you. Read from a wide range of authors and people on that subject, you know. So you could have a favorite author on that subject, but don't just stick to that favorite author. Read from other people as well, even the people that you don't like very much, because if you don't like what they're doing, then you will see what they're missing and what they haven't done right, and then you can also an idea can come to you through that. Yeah. So doing a lot of reading would help you. I think I'm answering my own question, because I was wondering how you can develop ideas, and it just came to me right now. But this is one of the things as well, when you're having discussions like this. I think also the discussion with like-minded people, or people that have interest in you, will give you an audience. It will also help you to develop ideas, because I didn't have this idea before I actually sat here. I didn't have the idea that the way to develop ideas is read. But I just thought about it because I'm hearing from Julie, I'm reading from you guys. My brain is working to like, okay, how can you develop ideas? It's like you can develop ideas when you read widely, when you look for information in the area of your interest, or generally, but mainly in the area of your interest. Then you will get ideas in what you want to resolve. And I also think another practical way is to write things down. You know, I'm very lazy with writing things down, and I also want to do this, you know, electronic way where I want to carry everything electronically. If you've mastered putting everything down electronically on your phone notepad, then that's really great. But if you haven't mastered it, just have a notebook and write things down. And even have a notebook next to you in bed, on your bedside table. So when you think of something, you just write it down. You wake up and you write it down. You might feel a bit tired like me, that, you know, once I'm in bed, just don't touch anything. I just want to sleep. But, you know, jokes apart, if you want to be somebody that develops new ideas, something might come to you while you're lying down, when you're relaxed. So have your pen and paper ready. If you're writing on the phone or you're writing on your electronic devices, have them available next to you. Or write them down in Notepad, because it might be quicker, and then transfer it into an electronic format. So that way you can develop new ideas. And I think this is just one of the few ways that you can develop ideas. But at the top of my head right now, I think that, you know, that's 3 good ways that you can develop new ideas. So I just want to say I agree with that, especially when you were talking about reading widely, because
if you study your environment and even your passion and your area of interest, you can get into, obviously there are always problems, right? There are always problems no matter in what area, and it will help you to come up with solutions to those problems. And just to extend or to add to that, what can also help us to come up with ideas is to look for problems.
Yes.
You know,
Oh.
what are problems in those areas that we're studying?
I like
what
that.
are the, you know, in the
What can be
passion?
done better?
Exactly. How can you improve that area? And sometimes we just want to blend in. We just think, oh, this is a good place, I'm going to do the same. But there are also things that need improvement. We always have room for improvement. And that's a great way to cultivate ideas.
Yes, and I just remember the book that Dr. Sunday wrote. I hope I got the title right. Problems, Your Shortcut to Prominence.
Yep.
That's a good book to read.
Absolutely,
if you really want to develop, ideas. You want to be somebody that has new ideas and is dynamic all the time. So problem, or is it problems? Problems, your shortcut to prominence. That's one of Dr. Sunday's book. And I remember there's another one that says, where there is problem, there is money.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yes.
Where there's problem, there's money.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't even have to get the book to remember this. Oh, thumbs up for me. Yay, thank you. Somebody else is clapping for me here. So I remember it. So thank you guys. Yes. So problems, your shortcut to prominence, and the other one, which is where there's problem, there is money. I mean, how can you not want that one?
Yeah, and it made me think of a quote that I recently read, which is, life is problems, living is finding solutions.
Wow.
Yeah.
You read that? Where?
Yeah, I have to find it
I
somewhere.
like
but
that.
I love this quote.
I really love that
so,
quote.
It's so true. Life is all about problems. And
Yes.
if you live, you're finding solutions to these problems.
So I really like it. So life itself. So we are already in life, right?
Yeah.
So life itself is problem, right? And if you're living, you're somebody that's providing solution. So it's not saying being alive. So being alive is one thing, but living, what makes you a living being, is as being a solution. So I like that quote.
It's
Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
I really need to think about that quote as well. If I am living or I'm just alive.
That probably was someone who definitely had some time to think and come up with ideas and solutions.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love that quote. Whoever it's from, thank you for that quote.
Yeah.
And Judy, thank you for sharing that quote with us. So guys, please, these attributes that we're discussing, it's not just this one that we're discussing today, which is dynamic, is also all the attributes. I think you should have a look at them. They're on Dr. Sunday's homepage, and they're also on one of his pictures. So if you see his homepage picture, you can scroll to the next one. You'll see this attributes list on there. And also it's on my own page as well. It's on I think it's the main one there on my own page now. So check it out, Maya Olaya. You can see the attributes and the list of attributes and copy it. You know, save it and copy it and print it out if you can, and then put it on your wall in your office or somewhere. I usually put things in my office just to remember things that I love and things that would inspire me. And I think this attribute is one of those things that it will really inspire you. It's not about Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sunday is just one example of many people that are dynamic in the world, but it's an example that I see every day. So if I do mention him a lot, then please pardon me, but I'm not excusing it, okay? I like to mention what I see. So if it's you that I see, I would also mention you in the same way. If it's Julie, you know, I mention Julie a lot. You know, I would mention Julie. So if you have other examples out there, or you want to discuss these attributes with us, and you want to ask us questions that we can share our honest opinion or what we have also learned over the last few months or even learning now, we will be free to share it with you. So please join us every time where we do these attributes.
Yeah. Should we check if there are some comments or?
Yes, let me check actually. It's right here beside me. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay. I think we stopped at Jane.
Okay, so Jane is saying dynamic is also what makes us to stand out and to be different from others. Oh, we read that. Oh, sorry. Yes. Tough Writer is saying dynamism leads you to your destination. Hence, DSA knows where he's coming from, knows where he's at, and knows where he's going. I think these are the fundamentals of a dynamic life. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I like that truthful writer. Yes, he knows where he's coming. I mean, he knows where he's going, where he's coming from. I think we discussed that earlier. We said that as well earlier, truthful writer. But thank you for your contribution. That's really great.
Then we have Emenike, who's saying Dr. Sunday Adelaide's dynamism is extraterrestrial and most importantly, contagious. He understands life in multiple facets. He is a type of King Solomon. My desire is to develop such quality. Our world needs such men to trade the sands of history.
Wow, MNK, that's amazing. And you know what? One thing that you said there in terms of being contagious is absolutely contagious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that contagious feeling is what I had before I sat here, especially after this video. This video is struggling to upload.
Yeah.
What's going on? But we will get it to you.
Yes.
Don't worry. It's going to come to you. Okay? You will see the video. You would hear Dr. Sunday's heart as he is like, wow, you know. And that was totally contagious for me. Just watching him say those words, I felt so empowered. I felt so strong, like, yay, giant. That I can do anything. I mean, he's the one talking, and I feel like I can do anything. Can you believe that? So I really can't wait for that video to come out for you guys so that you guys can also see. And hopefully we would upload it before the next program, which is at 9 p.m., which is in just over an hour from now. Dr. Sunday will be back, and it will continue with the series and the hijack of the church and the resurrection of paganism. I really can't wait.
Don't want to miss this. There's some really, really interesting videos. For
really? You got really? Okay. Right. So I can't wait as well. So guys, join us at 9 p.m. for that. I'll let Judy finish reading the comments. We will not read the comments.
Yeah. So Jane is saying, being dynamic requires one to be a critical thinker, analyze things, and make some changes. Dynamic people usually progress because they are always striving for the best.
Wow. Jane, you're on fire today. Thank you very much for that comment. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Thoughtful writer is saying, I can't wait. I'm excited and I'm keeping my eyes peeled.
I think it's for the video. Yes, we will be sharing the video soon. I mean, we're trying to, but internet, I don't know what's going on, but we've been trying to for over an hour now, so we will share it with you. We will get there. Don't worry. Even if we have to cut it and then change something, you know, not change anything, but we will get it to you. Yes. Okay?
Okikiola says, okay. Princess is saying, yes, very good to write things down. Thank you so much. Thank you, Princess.
Thank you, Okiki, as well. I mean, I think your home sing is with volume. So there's so much you want to say, but you're getting used to us now. So don't worry, you're free to write your comments and what you want to say. Please join us every time we have attributes or any program, 7 p.m. Ukraine time. That's 5 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. But welcome if you're just joining us for the first time.
Yeah. Jane is saying, reading with understanding can help us to develop new ideas. Yeah, that's very true. I agree. Because sometimes it's not just about reading to just read.
Yeah.
You obviously have to read with understanding. Otherwise, it's not going to be fruitful what you're going to read.
Yes. And I think also that's why I said in the area of your interest. And you know, the other thing with reading is that it becomes an habit. So if you're reading, and even if you don't have understanding, don't give up reading. As you read and you read and you read more, everything will start to click together. It will start to form. It's like a puzzle. So if you start to read, first of all, it has to be in your area of interest. That's always good. Or even if it's not an area of interest, let it be an area that you want to develop an interest in. So you're doing it purposefully, not, you know, just picking up anything, or you're reading newspapers. Newspaper is just going to confuse you because there's so many things in there. Unless if you go to the section where you prefer. But it is important to continue to read. Even if you feel like I'm not getting it right now, don't give up. Don't put the book down or whatever you're reading or the article. Continue. Read it again. Read something else in that topic. And soon everything will click for you.
Yeah. And I also like this understanding, especially because it's so important that we have a holistic understanding of things. You know, if we want to find solutions, we have to understand how things have been working before and how things should, this is how we will come up with how things will work or should work out in the future, you know, by looking how it was before, looking how it is now, and then this will help us to come up with creative ideas, because, you know, we should look out of the box, and this is going to help. But if you don't have pre-information, we could come up with things that are already existent. So
yes,
yeah. Then we have Abdul who's saying, so sweetie. Okay. Thank you, Abdul. Joseph is saying, hello, hello, Foma, hello, Queen Nikki. And Fun Lola is saying, I'm here for the first time. I love your positivity.
Aww.
Thank you, Fun Lola.
Welcome, thank you very much. Welcome, Fun Lola. I hope that you will join us again.
Yes.
And also, we are back. So what you need to do, Fun Lola, if this is your first time, is you need to go to Dr. Sunday's page and you like this page. So like the page and then change the notification to see first. So every time we come on or anything from Dr. Sunday comes on, you will be the first person to see it. Everybody that click on see first, they will see notification, and you would also get notification when we're on live. So please do that. There's a whole wealth of information here. Social media is not just to look at your friends' pictures and all that. You also gain and develop yourself. I have seen that. I have developed myself through social media. I got to know Dr. Sunday through social media, and I think that great things have happened for me since doing that. So I want to welcome you again for coming onto this page, Dr. Sunday Adelaja's page. He's not just on Facebook. He is not just on Facebook. He's also available on YouTube. He's actually available not just on YouTube either, but for all the videos that we are watching right here on Facebook, you can also access them on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. So if you go to YouTube and type in Sunday Adelaja Official, you should click your enter button or search, and you would see a picture of Dr. Sunday. He's wearing a green suit with a blue suit with a green t-shirt and bow tie. Click on that picture and you go to his home page or channel homepage. And on that channel homepage, scroll down, you would see a lot of titles and playlists that is already treated or is already thought about or is already shared with us. Click on whatever you fancy, whatever you prefer, and under that as well, you'll find playlist after playlist on that topic. So you really need to check that resource out. It's really useful to go on Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube. Also, if you're interested in reading, you can go to sundayadelajablog.com. sundayadelajablog.com. That will help you to find all the articles. That's the place to find all the articles if you're into reading. So like we said, reading is one of the ways to find ideas or to gain ideas. And of course, there's another way to get all of Dr. Sunday's books not in English. All of Dr. Sunday's book in English, because he used to write in Russian language, but now their books are available in English, which is on Amazon. So you can get them electronically or in hard copy on Amazon. Amazon wherever you are, it might be .com or it might be .co.uk, Germany, DE, that's Germany, or wherever you are. So please check out Amazon and look at books that might help you. I mentioned 2 books today, Problems, your shortcuts to prominence, and the other one is Where There's Problems, There Is Money. Those 2 books will help you also to find ideas, and there are many other books and many titles, so please check them out. The topic we discussed today was dynamic, so we're going to end shortly. But I can see Julie wants to read out some things.
Yeah, there's one last comment that came up from Lola, who says, enroll for a course, get yourself out there, educate yourself, look inwards.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Lola. This is your first time, you said, and you've been so active. We really appreciate that, and I hope we'll come back. You will come back again and again. And guys, let's finish with Lola's advice, which is to enroll on a course. That's actually another way. And you know what? You can enroll on Dr. Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube and make one of the titles, one of the series or playlist your course.
Yeah.
You know, I think a good course to go for is the one on It's number 9 playlist, and it's on purpose. You know, you can find your purpose there, and that will also help you. And there's another one on finance. There are lots of playlists in there, so look for it. Purpose and finance. I know purpose is definitely number 9. I'm not sure what number finance is, but you can check it out yourself. Please go ahead. But Funlola's advice in terms of enrolling on a course, even if it's a short course, do that as well if you like to leave the home. But there are all array of resources available for you. Please don't hesitate to make use of them, please. Okay?
Yeah.
So I just want to say again, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
53 minutes.
Yeah.
In 53 minutes, join us again as we continue this series with Dr. Sunday himself.
Yeah.
Teaching on the hijack of the church, or hijacking of the church, hijack of the church, and the resurrection.
The
resurrection of paganism
in the African church.
In the African church. So we
Hot
see
topic.
you. Yes, hot topic. So we'll see you soon. Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate you. I hope to see you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.